180 cruise to the Bahamas, myth or reality? Yes, some will say fake. Let's look together on the websites of cruise companies. What prices do they now give for such cruises in the Caribbean to the Bahamas? I will give you advice at the very beginning. Subscribe to all companies. Let their offers come to you in the mail. This tip of mine will save you from $350 to try $800. You will receive various promo codes. Offer from cruise companies from try $850, 40% discount on drinks and various weekend offers. Also, don't miss the try $850 discount offers. And all this will allow you to save very well and choose very favorable prices when traveling. Let's start with the Royal Caribbean website. It immediately meets us with discounts of charges $853 for passenger for free, but you will still have to pay fees of $100 discounts. What else? So we have a weekend offer of $277. Let's see, $277 is not bad, but not that price yet. That is $200 is still far away. The rest of the offers are, as you can see, they are even more expensive. There is no point in looking further. Let's see what we really have. $1,600 on the Bahamas to $277. Note that there is a similar cruise as well. For $279, what is our route? There it is, Fort Lauderdale on the self-propelled Bahamas for 3 dates. Here is the nearest one for September. Also note that ocean cabins have a small difference and it makes sense to book. Well, we will look at the cheapest for $277 is $553 with 2 guests. The rest is free, just pay the fees, that is, you get everything. Access to the entire infrastructure of the ship is concerts, swimming pools, jacuzzi, saunas, various water slides. That is all absolutely free infrastructure. Absolutely the same as if you paid for the most expensive suite. So here we are calculating a 60% discount for 2 guests, a saving of $351 from their base prices. Let's see what number it is. Well, this is such a small number, but in principle, if you participate in all activities. On the ship, you only come there to spend the night on a short cruise. There is no point in taking it, so here we have lunch you can still try. Try these discounts when $57 is from one credit bank, 1 credit. So is it worth adding tips or not to add them now or later, and how can you not pay them at all? We will look at it in another video. Subscribe so also. The rules are protected, should we take it or not. That is, set the bell, then you and I will see. Now we are moving to MSC Cruises. Here we start with $190, $217, $500, $249. $800, well, that's not our target price. We see that ours is simpler and cheaper. The cheapest one they get is $999 per cruise. We will make a sample from the cheapest, $189. Even we found here. Please note, $170, $89 for 1600 to the Bahamas, 1600. So here too, they immediately offer a 50% discount owed $50, the cruise company itself. So here we have $189 children on board for free. That is, you can go with the whole family. Drinks will be bought separately. Wi-Fi is also in the neighboring package, which for 413 Wi-Fi drinks are included. Well, in principle, you don't have to Wi-Fi, so we take the cheapest one to spend $1,600 in the Caribbean Sea in the Bahamas. This is what our ocean view rooms look like. The difference is also small, so in principle you can kind of take it, but we take the cheapest cabin. So here we have what is included, various packages. You can add $30 there and get additional options, but this is not necessary. So the next company we have is a Celebrity. Here price tags, of course, such immediately surprised to $923, it was $300, $390, but so far this company of outsiders at $900. So we take the simplest cruise at $1403. So here we start at $391. No, we found it cheaper than $345. The cheapest cruise to Q and the Bahamas. So we look, but this company is losing, of course, in terms of prices. Let's just linger on it a little out of curiosity about the route, not Bimini, Bahamas, Fort Lauderdale, Kiev. So here we have cabins $420 and $345. Yes, the difference is also small, but we take the cheapest one for the $345 Palace, a total of $690. For 2 guests. We get 75% discount for 2 guests, so 3-4 passengers are free of charge, and we go to the Carnival company. So at Carnival we also have various discounts offering $50 for boarding card expenses. So let's see that they have $1,500 to the Bahamas, $1,291, and $1,600 to the Bahamas, $195. You see the difference is small, but actually for $40, an extra day on the islands in the Caribbean. So we have here the 195s at 4 p.m. This is from Miami Hauschmunke. This is on the islands, 2 private islands in the Caribbean. Carnival company offers us. Also, if you are 55 years old or older, you can get a discount. They receive military discounts, but this is not our case. So let's see, they have an installment payment of $42 per month. Immediate payment isn't required for the cheapest cabin, priced at $390 for 2 individuals. So are tips and protection insurance in general worth taking or not? I will remind you, we will consider next time. How can you pay or not pay? We will also raise this issue with these tips. So these are our offers that actually turn out to be about $390. The final price without tips and insurance for 2 guests in the same room comes from Miami Tuck Half Moon. 2 islands and back to Miami. We move on to the next final campaign. This Margaritaville company is a small company. You can immediately see that we hit the target of $149 for a cruise at $1,500 and $179 for $1,600. This is the way out, so the rest of us are more expensive than us. Of course, we skip and return to the cheapest option we are looking for. Here is our $1,500 departure from Palm Beach, so sell out at this price. Tickets are all sold. But the $179 remains available for us. Then you can watch not at $1,500, but for the same price watch at $1,600, $400 in the Bahamas, $179 is a very luxurious offer. 19 dates are available. So here's the 107 night. Let's try. Let me remind you that you are Palm Beach, which is not far from Miami. There is its own airport. You can fly directly there. You don't have to fly there to Fort Lauderdale or Miami, where everything is more expensive, but you can stay in West Palm or West Bay or Palm Beach. So it turns out it's executor, this ship, the 79, for various fees, taxes included. The total price per room is the 358 or 358 for 2 people at 4 o'clock p.m. in the Bahamas. Here is their phone number. Remember their website. And you can also save a discount of $92 in installments, so that's $38 per month at 0%. Very good offer, so not always. Yes, it's just fantastic that you don't always have to watch exits from ports and some large cruise companies. Let me tell you, Margaritaville is a small cruise company with good ships. Look, they even have slightly better rooms and a great price. That is, let's choose a room and see what else we won't take. We'll take a standard cabin. In order, as they say, to comply, that is, we literally dispel the myth with you that such prices do not exist. Here are the prices. You can look, we get to the very end, and in principle we see this price of $358 for 2 person. That is, it actually costs $45 a day, which is cheaper than any hotel. And also take into account that there will be food on board, entertainment and other things for $45, and you won't get anything like that anywhere. That is, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I hope your video will be useful to share.